Maybe it's a sign of the times, maybe it's a sign of things getting more popular, but I feel like there's been quite a bit more talk about malware on the Linux desktop. Obviously, malware, not good, but if there's malware targeting the desktop, like the logic there is it's a valuable enough target to target. I don't know. And if not explicitly attacks on packages and attacks on the desktop, we've had a number of AUR packages that people noticed contained some malware, often pretending to be some popular software, like a browser, like a Minecraft launcher, things like that. Then there was the whole recent Ubuntu situation, where somebody compromised the Ubuntu website and distributed a clipboard stealer, basically, where, like, if you tried to transfer crypto, it would put in their address. And when they got caught, they made $0. And since there's been a bunch of things going on, rather than making 3 or 4 separate videos, I thought it'd make more sense to just merge all of these into one and just explain them all, because not everything here is as it seems. All of these, everybody assumed initially was some sort of malware, but after the fact, that may have not actually been true. So the other day, I came across this post, Ransomware Help on Linux for Noobs. Hey guys, I installed a package from a PPA I got from a closed GitHub issue that I thought was safe. 2 days forward, all my configs and files are encrypted, and I have this file on my home folder. I didn't have any important files, and I had some changes I'd made without adding them to GitHub. I would like to save these. Any way to decrypt these files, any help would be appreciated. Assuming this is, like, actual ransomware? No. There's no way you're decrypting it. Basically, sometimes if you send the money, they will decrypt the files. A lot of other times, they just take your money and just run. And due to some things that happened later, this post has since been deleted. Now, the issue in question was on a project known as Winboat. I still need to make a video on this. Basically, it's a program that effectively takes a Docker container running Windows and then uses that as a way to run Windows software on Linux. That's the long and short of it. This PPA was promptly reported to Canonical's Launchpad, the package in question being FreeRDP3 full, and was promptly deleted pending investigation into the content of the PPA. Totally reasonable thing to do, they did the right thing here. And this alert was posted to the Winboat Discord. GitHub comment PPA malware. Action required. If you downloaded anything from a PPA posted by a commenter on our GitHub, Winboat, FreeRDP, or anything, make sure to disconnect your computer from the internet, do a full backup, and erase everything. You are likely infected by malware, and you should scan your machine. We've started investigating a thread that surfaced on Reddit in relation to a GitHub issue on Winboat where a PPA for FreeRDP was posted. Please see full details here. None of the repositories listed are made by us. Please do not use them under any circumstance. The comments are deleted now, but we have no idea about the full extent of the attack yet. We'll report back with details once we figure them out. Please only use official sources like our GitHub releases, and if you can't do that, at least use distros who package us properly. The only safe sources are the Winboat website and the Winboat GitHub. And again, given the situation, totally reasonable way to handle this. I probably would have done the same. However, it's not entirely clear whether or not this was malware, because only this one person downloaded the package, nobody has further commented on the contents of the package. The person who had it on their system has now since nuked their system and cleaned everything up. And also, considering the time gap between when there was a problem, it was a 2-day gap between when they downloaded it and when this problem happened. And a theory that's been going around is this actually wasn't malware. The package, I don't know why there was just a random PPA for FreeRDP, but that's a kind of normal thing in the PPA space. What's likely what happened here is the person started running Winboat, and Winboat actually has full access to your entire system. So this is a thing that's been discussed many times. If you run Winboat, it has full access to your Linux drive. So if you go and run some Windows ransomware, it's going to go and run on your drive as well. Now, the comments in question were on these two threads here. So some are in here. Obviously, it's since been deleted. Over in this one as well, there was a lot of people being like, yo, ransomware, this is bad. But again, from the research that's been done into it, it doesn't appear to be a problem. Now, there's no issue with being cautious, right? Like, if you think that you might have installed malware because, you actually do have ransomware on your system, it's better to be safe than sorry. So putting out the warning on the Discord, putting out, telling people to, go and clean things up, all that good stuff, not a problem. But it's still not clear fully what happened. And there's still some people trying to do some further research into this, so maybe at some point the proper answer will be found, but it's just not clear right now. Let's go to a situation where it's very clear what was going on though. Or if not what was going on, that it's definitely malicious. Again, we travel to the world of Arch Linux and the AUR. Now, if you ever wonder why it's so common for there to be malware packages on the AUR, basically it's because at the package upload stage, there's not really much in the way of vetting. It basically operates on a trust-based system where they trust you're not going to do something stupid, and if you break that trust, well, you get the ban hammer. If you want to put something on the AUR, basically what you need to do is no Git, no SSH, and have an Arch Linux account, and that's pretty much all you need, and then you can just put something on the AUR. This is especially true when a package has already been established for quite a while, and you were just taking over as a maintainer. And that is exactly what happened in this case. It wasn't a package masquerading as another, it was two seemingly random packages that someone managed to get access to, and then decided, you know what? I'm just going to inject malware into it. Those packages being MDB tools. This is something you probably have never heard of. It's for viewing data and exporting schema from Microsoft Access database files. Very random thing to just have malware injected into it, and this package has been on the AUR for 20 years now. The other one is Materia Theme Git, a materia design like flat theme for GTA 4, 3, 2, Metacity, and GNOME Shell. Again, this has been around for about 8 years now. So this was taken over by a person with the incredible name Cool Peepee, and they're still listed as the maintainer, but they have since been banned from the AUR because, well, they shouldn't be on the AUR. This was first reported on the Arch Linux forums, AUR packages hijacked, MDB tools / materia theme Git. And it was a very simple sort of way to inject something. Basically, during the AUR script, it would add a curl command that was just downloading a file from this IP address, wherever this server happens to point to, and then just naming it to be a library file that is expected by the application, so it's kind of just like hidden in plain sight. Unless you go and actually check the AUR package build, you never would have seen this. This is the case for both of these applications. The attack vector here is pretty self-explanatory, but just on random unpopular packages that, I don't know, like, what entirely was the goal here? Because maybe during this entire process, 3 people, 5 people maybe downloaded these packages. I really can't see that many people having been affected by this. Maybe this one's more popular, maybe, but even so, like, sometimes I just don't understand malware developers, right? Or like malware attacks. I just don't understand, like, why you would go after an attack vector, why you'd go after some sort of group of people where basically no one's going to be affected. There's better uses for your time. And cleanup here was also pretty easy, just get rid of a couple of files. Again, this makes me so confused about what the goal here actually was with how, like, basic it was to get rid of. I don't, like, obviously it's malicious. It shouldn't be here. Like, it's on the AUR. That's bad. It got removed. Great. Awesome. But, like, I just don't understand the goal here. There was also an announcement made over on the AUR mailing list. So, for the people that happen to read that, mostly developers, mostly people who would be able to clean these up, you know, again, I'm just confused what the goal here was. And the last thing I want to talk about is Kubuntu. So a few days back, they had a bit of an SSL oopsie. They let the cert expire, causing basically every browser to throw a warning about the site being unsafe. And I think because this happened, it primed people to assume that something else bad was going to happen. And that's exactly what did. Not something bad, but something people assumed was bad. What happened to the Kubuntu website? It clearly is not looking the way it should. It was covered in AI art. The font was clearly not the right font. All over the site, it clearly was not correct. People on my Discord were talking about this as well, and everything just seemed wrong. As I looked deeper, I found out they used AI images, but also had fake info about LTS on their download page. As you can see on one of the pictures I provided, it says that it is supported shorter than the newest non-LTS release until April 2025, which is weird as that date has already passed. So I want to know more about this. Is this just a broken website meant to be a redesign or something else? Please answer. Thanks. A lot of people were getting very angry about this. It was a mix of, oh, is this malware because of the whole Ubuntu situation? But at the same time, well, what if it's not malware? What if this is intentional and Kubuntu is like fully in favor of using AI art? And oh my god, this is a crazy, crazy thing that's happening. Neither of those things actually happened. It was more of a fairly innocuous problem that I think everyone can kind of cause at some point. As some of you noted, we have recently soft-launched a brand new Kubuntu website, and we're excited to announce that the entire site code is now fully open source and available on GitHub at this link right here. And there is a number of issues and pull requests related to the state it was in, over on that repo. This move enables wider contributions from the whole Kubuntu community. Whether you spot a typo, want to improve accessibility, translate a page, or help shape the next design evolution, you can fork, fix, and send us a pull request. Together we can make the official home of Kubuntu even better and faster. The previous site ran on WordPress, which always carried a certain maintenance burden and a defacement risk. We have now switched to a static site website, Hugo. And frankly, for what Kubuntu is doing, Hugo is totally fine. Now here's the important part. We chose a soft launch so we can enable features and polish the design as we go. That's why we started with AI-generated placeholder images. They've been replaced with proper Kubuntu artwork very soon. The new site already renders much faster than the old one. It's inherently safer without server-side scripting, and with your kind assistance, we'll have it in tip-top shape in just a few days. Check out the latest commits in the public repository, and follow the progress live. If you enjoy giving back to open source, your help is more than welcome, and you can go and help them out. So basically what happened here is they did a soft launch rather than on a subdomain on the main production domain. This meant that a completely unfinished website with a bunch of placeholder content, incorrect content, placeholder AI-generated images was all being used and went directly to production. People thought because of that, the site was taken over, or at the very least, they decided to build the site full of AI art, but in reality, someone pushed to production a little bit too early. And if you go to the Kubuntu website now, it looks like you would expect. all logos are in place correctly, it's using real screenshots. It looks like a distro website like you would expect. This was obviously not how it was going to look long term, but I understand if you see this and you already know about the whole Kubuntu stuff, I can understand why you might think, somebody is taking over the website, something's clearly wrong here. So whilst at least one of these cases is definitely not malicious, albeit it was a screw-up with pushing to production, and one was possibly malicious, still not sure, there was at least one actual case of there being real malware, albeit targeting packages that basically no one uses. So, probably not that bad, but still a problem. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Did you know about these situations going on? Did they manage to get past your radar, or were you aware and just hadn't really looked into them? I would love to know. So if you liked the video, go like the video and go subscribe as well. And if you really liked the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon, subscribe to Daily Bearer Pay, linked in the description down below. That's going to be it for me, and what if I'm malicious?